Good evening, everybody at YouTube. Once again, it's three middle-aged dudes the three middle-aged guys just bullshitting about nothing. You have the Reverend.
The theme here.
And Gray Mouse 1.
Yep, and we are here just to go ahead and start. Well, normally it would be our Geek Week in Review, but we always go ahead and we try to be culturally and aware and up to date on current events. And the truth of the matter is that all of us are fight fans. As politically incorrect as it is to sit there and spectate violence between two human beings, the fight game is still something out there that interests a lot of people. And the truth of the matter is that on June 3rd, we lost an icon of the fight game, actually probably a cult personality, one of the greatest, actually probably the greatest of all time.
I was going to say one of?
Yeah, the greatest of all time. Muhammad Ali, born Cassius Marcellus Clay, passed away June 3rd, 2016. And he passed away, I believe it was like of a septic infection or something like that? Let's see here. I've got it up here, so why don't I sit there and yeah, let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, so he was hospitalized in Scottsdale, Arizona, where he was at on June 2nd, 2016, of respiratory illness. And though his condition was initially described as fair, his condition worsened and he died the following day at the age of 74 from septic shock. Yeah, it's passing of an icon, passing of a cult of personality, passing of one of the greatest sportsmen of all time. We are here just to go ahead and give our thoughts. Gentlemen, the floor is open. Before I wax poetic and start, I'm already monopolizing the time. Go ahead.
What's not the same? Muhammad Ali. We're losing too many icons this year. We lost David Bowie.
Getting fucking old, unfortunately.
We lost David Bowie. We lost Prince. And now we're losing. Oh, we lost. Ali.
Yep.
One thing vividly I remember is that the interview on Arsenio Hall, Sugar Ray, Muhammad Ali, and Mike Tyson. Just the amount of respect that those three had for each other, it just tells you what type of a person Muhammad Ali was.
It's funny because I've heard stories about Muhammad Ali, like him going to a restaurant, and then people that would look and notice him would stop what they're doing and then just start giving him an ovation. It shows just how many respected this man. And the man battled Parkinson's for over 30 years.
Yeah.
But a lot of people do not understand that he was still sharp. It's not that he couldn't speak. It's not that he couldn't articulate. No, because he could still have a valid conversation, but it was just that, the Parkinson's, yes,
His physical faculties were compromised, but he was still one of the when folks had the chance to sit down and talk to him and actually converse with him. There were many times when he was able to make very poignant statements. One of my early memories of Muhammad Ali, funny thing about it, is actually comes from the WWF, not the WWE, but the WWF.
Yeah.
And what it was that there was actually an interview that I believe Mr. Fuji had with Muhammad Ali, where he talked to him about the early cross promotion match that he had with Antonio Inoki,
Yeah.
back in the 70s.
70s.
Yeah.
70s.
And this was before, his Parkinson's had advanced to a point where it was really, really hard for him to talk. And he sat down and they actually aired this on broadcast TV, this particular interview that Mr. Fuji had with him, where he was like, yeah, this was some crazy stuff. I knew he was a wrestler, and I was expecting him to dive on my legs and grab me as quickly as possible. But I knew as soon as he came in reach, I was going to try to go ahead and punch him in the face. But all he did is he dropped onto his back and he kicked at my legs.
Yeah.
And if you've ever seen the fight, as far as it went, I don't think they ever came to some sort of consensus about rules or anything like that. And it is what it is. It made Antonio Inoki a legend within the Japanese pro wrestling, and actually by extension, even mixed martial arts now. Mm-hmm. And it was just one of those things that was really, really odd. Yeah, there's a lot of things to learn from the man and his boxing career. Maybe not always the best technical boxing, because as far as physical gifts went, he was highly gifted with a grand amount of speed and a lot of durability. But generally speaking, when you're in a business where you get punched in the head on a regular basis, once that sort of thing starts going away, and he did start getting older, then it became really, really hard for him to do what he did. And yeah.
Okay. That's like the first time he was champion. He was stripped of the title.
Yeah.
First time around. Because, he was drafted and he refused to go. And then that's when the whole name change and him becoming a Muslim and all that. And then for 3 whole years, he wasn't doing what he basically trained to do. 3 whole years. And that was 3 years of his prime. And he still came back and won the championship, not one more time, but he won it 2 more times.
Yep.
And the thing about it is, as a wrestling fan, he is a trash talker of one of the best. And he actually copied some of that style from a wrestler named Gorgeous George. Look him up. Calling himself pretty.
I'm so pretty.
So pretty. So pretty. And anybody that does trash talking today, you have to pay homage to Muhammad Ali, because he was one of the pioneers of that.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
He talked shit, and not just talk shit, he backed it up in the fucking ring. He got up in there, he whooped your ass, he talked sometimes while he was doing it.
Yep.
That's what I was going to mention in a few seconds. I was like, the thing is, though, you talk shit. Not trash. He talked shit. And he had the skills to back it up.
Well, you should have the skills to back it up if you talk shit on anything. Not just go online and be a keyboard warrior and all that.
If that's how it ends up, talk as much shit as you can. All right.
Yeah,
that's how it goes. Okay?
That's one of the
shit. Okay.
Yeah. That is one of the most famous picks ever in sports.
Yep.
Like, damn.
I mean, here's the thing, especially in today's market now. All right. I'm going to say this right now. Everybody as a fan at some point in time has said this. Well, I don't like him because he's not a good sportsman. He doesn't win. He doesn't win good, or he's a sore loser. Here's the thing. With every sport, with every competitive event that's out there, the one thing that has been proven time and time again is that fans can get very involved and very interested in the backstory behind the match and the sentiments behind the match. Okay? Yeah. And a lot of times, promotion, when you're setting up a fight, whether it be boxing or MMA or pro wrestling or even soccer games.
Yeah.
You know, we got Copa America going on right now. When the promotion comes out and you know that these people are going to be competing on a professional level and they don't like each other, people become more interested. And one of the biggest trailblazers of the promo, of the fight promo, of self-promotion was Muhammad Ali.
Yes, he was.
He brought that to the forefront. And after he brought that to the forefront, and they have, you know, people who weren't even alive during his time know how good he was at it. You know, it changed not only boxing, but sports in general forever.
Yeah.
Ever. All right.
I mean, look, I'm gonna concur on something that the Reverend just said. Competition like that, and yeah, especially if you get people in there that don't like each other, and they try to best each other. And look, if I've had this on one of my credits for a while. If you're in a competition, you're not there to win or be the best, you shouldn't fucking be there. And if you get into a competition with somebody, yeah, you do whatever you have to do within legal parameters in order to get into their head, or you just flat out beat them. Now, if you are hurt by if your feelings get hurt by words, guess what? It's free game. I'm sorry. You're supposed to block past that and go on through and win anyway, or talk shit back and try to. But it's just that competition nowadays is so pussified, and it's ridiculous that I guarantee you, there are millennials that do not understand.
There's
Muhammad Ali Brum.
Wait, there's competition now? I thought everybody got participation trophies.
Well, I'll tell you right now, there's no safe space in the ring or on the mat.
Or on the court.
On the field.
Or on the court. Yeah, right. We got the NBA Finals going on right now, and the Warriors are 2 games up. 2 games to none. And again, second place is fucking first loser, okay? There's no points for it. There's no bragging rights about it. I was runner-up. No. You're either the best or you're not. You're the champion or you're not. Muhammad Ali, I'm the greatest. You're the greatest? Yeah. How are you going to argue to that point?
One thing, too, is I think Mike Tyson took that ferocity to a different level, talking about I'll eat your children.
Well, he said that to someone that didn't even have kids. But that was a mental game.
No, that's the point that I'm making.
Damn, he go eat kids. Yeah, shit.
I mean, but, you know, the thing is that at the time also, you know, if you ask Mike about that moment in his life, he will tell you that a lot of the time he was high on shit and he was very mentally unstable. The one thing that Muhammad Ali has that a lot of other sportsmen will not have is a lot of sportsmen will not serve as the same source of inspiration and exemplitude out there. Now I know there may be certain stories about how he treated Joe Frazier after their matches, especially since I believe Frazier was one of the guys who helped him out during the times after he lost the championship and everything else. But the one thing that I will not take away from the guy ever is the fact that for him to become what he became and to reach the heights that he reached and to still be recognized as a sportsman and icon of the boxing community or worldwide, is that the guy worked his ass off.
You want to know the reason why he became a boxer in the first place?
Go ahead.
Muhammad Ali had his bike stolen. And he went to the police, and the officer was like, hey, you go train and make sure that doesn't happen again. And then next thing you know, the police officer actually led him to the gym, and that's when he started training. He's like, I'm gonna go beat the guy that took my bike.
I'll take my bike back.
So that's how it all started, and then he just started training and started chipping off, and then the shiny diamond just appeared. Hey, I can.
Well, I mean, another thing too is that just look at the generation of boxers that were influenced that would probably not even get into boxing if it wasn't for Muhammad Ali. Like you said, Mike Tyson was one of them. Like he you know.
Well, I remember a clip of Muhammad Ali on the same stage with Sylvester Stallone, and he came out, "Hey boy, I'm the real Paul Creed. You stole my script." It was a very entertaining thing to see when it's like, whoa, and they were actually. I'm like, no, that was freaking cool because who's gonna argue that point? Yeah. You think of where he got that shit? I guarantee you, Muhammad Ali has some influence in it.
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing about that, yeah, Apollo Creed, speaking in rhymes and catchphrases, and the number of nicknames and his titles that weren't, that came along with his announcement and everything else. Yeah, a lot of that was a reflection of Muhammad Ali. There's no doubt about it. The thing about Muhammad Ali too that really sticks out also is that he was one of the few guys out there when if you remember at the time in the mid-70s, there was a certain action star called Bruce Lee who existed on the silver screen. When he was asked what he thought of Bruce Lee, he was like, I don't want anything of him. He's a real deal. The funny thing about that, whether or not it's rumor or not, it was one of those things where it was like game recognizes game. And Bruce Lee's books, he straight out says, hey, I tried to study the best out there. And he's like, my footwork and everything else and the way that I move is, he's like, I take a lot of it from the footwork and the movement that I see in the ring from Muhammad Ali. And I will admit that my fandom of Muhammad Ali actually comes as an extension of my fandom of Bruce Lee. But what we're talking about here in our tribute that we're putting forward to this particular sportsman, this particular icon, this particular pioneer, isn't about Bruce Lee. It's about Muhammad Ali.
Right.
I must say, I still think his daughter is beautiful as heck, even though she's gotten a little thick. I still think she's beautiful. All right. Any other thoughts, gentlemen?
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Damn.
He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life. Man was so mean he made medicine sick.
He made medicine sick.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out. There was a quote from him on that as well. So just how influence, man.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you're talking kickboxing, if you're talking boxing, if you're talking MMA. When it comes to the fight game, it doesn't even matter if you're talking pro wrestling. If it comes to the fight game or anything resembling it, his name will forever be attached to it.
Yes, and as it fucking should be.
Yeah, I think that's something we all agree with that. And with that, I raise a glass. This is in respect to the passing of Muhammad Ali, June 3rd, 2016. Rest in peace, sir.
To the greatest.
Of all time.
All time. No question. No question.
With that, folks, thank you for spending the last few minutes with us. Like always, if you're so kind, hit like, hit subscribe, check out our channels. And check out the next few videos that we're going to put out. I am the Reverend.
the theme here?
Plus one.
For the benefits of the greatest of all time.
Of all time.
All time.
Kanye West.
No, fuck. Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time. Rest in peace. Credits.
Let's get scratching.